Up onto the BP Ultimate Grid, Kane Scott lines up off the pole for race 2 alongside Timmy Edgell. A road 2 start for Craig Beard alongside the first of the Holdens, Andy Booth.
Then go back to Wade Henshaw and Andy Knight. Of course, Andy Knight getting a bit of damage from the Johnny McIntyre incident. We go back to Matt Lockwood and Andrew Anderson.
Matt Lockwood with a solid result in race number 1. Go back to Scott McLaughlin, who charged from 16th to 9th. Simon Richards alongside of him. Nick Ross is next alongside John Penny in the Ford.
Then go back to Hayden McKenzie and Christina Orr. She's actually having a blind and return back to the championship. David Hoffer and, of course, Paul Manuel will be disappointed with that result back in 15th.
Yeah, Paul Manuel having a spin in race 1. Eddie Bell and Martin Short alongside each other, Angus Fogg and John McIntyre, and completing the lineup, it's William Bamber. So the AMG Mercedes safety car peels off into pit lane. 12 laps race 2 for the BNT V8s from the CRC 200 here at the Manfeild Autocourse. It is about to erupt, and effectively for Angus Fogg and John McIntyre, this is their first reverse grid race of the day as we get to green. Timmy Edgell.
Right down the inside, Craig Beard sandwiched between everybody. This is not going to end pretty.
Wade Henshaw trying to get an inside run. Andy Knight to the outside. That's a great start for the Century Batteries Ford. Kane Scott.
Andrew Anderson's getting filtered back there.
Kane Scott got a little touch in the rear bumper and it just about turned around the Fujitsu Ford. He's back.
Now McLaughlin, he could be the spoiler in this. This is uncharted territory for him there. He's rubbing on Andy Booth. No need to do that at all. There's still a lot of racing to be done.
Board with McLaughlin. That's Matt Lockwood climbing the curbs into the side of Andy Booth. Andy Anderson wants a part of it. It's busy for the opening few corners here at Manfield for race 2.
Certainly not over. I think after all that, I believe Timmy Edgell might actually be in the lead of this race.
Tim Edgell with the race lead.
Yeah.
There he is.
Wade Henshaw up to 3rd. Championship contender Craig Beard right in the middle of the pack there. Not far actually in front of Angus Fogg, so...
Well, considering he started from position 3 off the grid, that's a big lose for Craig Beard. He
just got
on board with John McIntyre.
He did, he's got mossed at the start and then just got absorbed and the freight train went past, but here is Johnny.
To the outside of Christina Orr. He's dropped back to 4th in the points behind Kane Scott, who was certainly the biggest mover points-wise after the first race, with a pretty dominant win. But Timmy Edgell was pretty cagey back there and behind him. He wasn't too far off the outright pace, but Edgell's got the lead at the end of lap number 1, chased by Scott, Henshaw, Knight, Booth, the first of the Holdens, Matt Lockwood and Scott McLaughlin side by side. So Scott McLaughlin with a great start.
Yeah, Scott McLaughlin on the inside here. Matt Lockwood, he's got nothing to lose. He's going to stay there because he doesn't know any different. He's going to come across and probably run Scott right out of room. Is exactly what he does. Somewhere in there's going to be the Craig Beard car.
There's some action back through the field. Just saw some yellow flags getting waved out there on board with Martin Shorts.
Paul Manuel slowing there on the infield. There's another car just to the outside of that.
So there's lots happening. Look at the debris getting flicked up onto the front windscreen of Paul Manuel's Oryx Commodore. So Tim Edgell stalked now by Kane Scott. Things settling.
Now here we go. The ITM car of Andrew Anderson right to the back of the Craig Beard car.
Oh, sideways for Anderson on the Peak Anticrease replay. He's reversing through Splash.
Yeah, not the ideal way to go around, but
he did a good job to get out of harm's way, though.
He did, and that was the smart thing. Just roll back, let everybody go through it and regather the race. So there you have. It's amazing how quick fortunes can change.
Craig Beard's got the right side mirror off the door flapping about. Eddie Bell battling there with John Penny for position 13. Back on board with McIntyre, who still scored in the 19th position. It's Lockwood's trying to get by Craig Beard. On board.
On board here with Craig Beard. He's currently in 7th place. If you just look in the back of the shot, Angus Fogg started for the back, already up to 10th. So he's in damage limitation mode and doing a really good job about it.
So Tim Edgell, certainly that gap has closed. Kane Scott, the gap at the line last time was 0.5 of a second. You can see the gap there. Wade Henshaw got a great start down the inside. He's 3rd ahead of Andy Knight. And the Knight team with a lot of work to do. They've changed engines between the first and second race.
Just heard car number 1, sorry Jamie, black and white flag driving off the track at turn 8. Number 1 car, Craig Beard.
So that's a warning. Warning for Craig Beard. Kane Scott, he's got some damage to the left front corner and the right rear bumper of the Fujitsu Ford. These two with a fairly significant lead already in the opening laps for race number 2.
These guys are just in a field of their own, they really are. Wade Henshaw back, he's got no pressure on him whatsoever. Andy Knight tied up in a battle there with Andy Booth.
Angus Fogg, just in back a shot, is up to the 9th position from grid position 19 inside the first 3 laps.
And he's got the fire in his belly that we know about. He's hungry to make up those places.
As Craig Baird was trying to get by Scott McLaughlin for the 6th position. Tim Edgell with Kane Scott stalking him for the race lead. Wade Henshaw, where's he come from? He's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, I've said before, it's not surprising Wade. He knows how to turn it on. He is a fierce competitor at the best of times. And he's doing a sterling job in that easy bike car. Of course, he hasn't done much of the championship as well, so he doesn't have the luxury of everybody else on the screen doing a lot of miles. He just jumps in, he drives on ability, and that's why he's in a very worthy 3rd place.
So Craig Baird couldn't get by Scotty McLaughlin, so Baird back in the 7th position. Battle's just inside the 10. The 10th place car is Nick Ross at the head of this queue. On board with John McIntyre, who's in the 13th position. There's Nick Ross in 10th, Simon Richards, Eddie Bell, John McIntyre. So just looking at this lead, looking at the lap times, Timmy Edgell at a 13.7, Scott at a 13.8. Kane Scott with the fastest lap of the race at a 13.5. As Craig Baird tries to come back and mount another challenge on Scott McLaughlin. So Timmy Edgell looks pretty comfortable out front, but Kane Scott showed he's got very, very good car speed over the weekend.
Yeah, no, don't agree. I don't think he's comfortable there at all. I think it's just a matter of time before Kane pounces on him. Kane's just sizing him up at the moment. There's a lot of car speed in that Fujitsu Falcon. Timmy Edgell, we know we can win races. He won the race here before, so if there's anybody's capable of doing it, it's him. But we can't help but think that Kane is just sizing him up right. I know I'm quicker than you, Timmy. You're quicker than me here. I'm going to put all this together, and now I'm going to pass you.
Approaching the halfway mark, Martin Short is up to the 15th position. Coming back after that clash that involved Angus Fogg at the start of race number 1. There's Eddie Bell to the inside of Simon Richards. McIntyre is going to follow him through.
Nice, clean, easy pass there. Simon Richards down the inside. Comes a bit of a battle of horsepower, but he's got the inside running, which is the preferred line. Advantage, Johnny McIntyre.
Yeah, John McIntyre, that should be for the 12th position. Tim Edgell out in front again. Kane Scott was a 10th of a second quicker in that last lap. McIntyre up into the 12th position. Eddie Bell on the move as well in the Independent Fisheries Ford. He was delayed in that first corner clash in race 1 as well.
Just saying to say, if he could actually make the inside pass here on Nick Ross, I thought Johnny Mac was going to follow right through, but he thought better of it. Here we go. Watch for the crossover here, Jamie. This is at the hairpin there. It's going to be a matter of drive out of the corner. Who's got the best? Timmy Edgell. Now, what's Kane going to do? Is he going to go to the left or the right of our screen? If he goes to the left, he's got the inside running.
Well, he's got good exit speed off the hairpin. We know the Chester's Ford has got big straight line speed. As Kane Scott, a half look to the inside at Higgins. Can he get the momentum off the exit? Tim Edgell, though, again, good exit speed. The action continues from Manfeild. Race 2 for the BNT V8s. Don't go away. We'll be back with more after this. Kane Scott sideways all over the back of Timmy Edgell. Lap 7 of 12, race 2 for the BNT V8s. What do you reckon, Mark?
5 laps to go, it's still anybody's. Timmy's car looks like it's just starting to go off here and there, running a little bit wide, just not getting the power down as well as he was in the first couple of laps. But that's not unexpected, because at this point, lap 7 of 12, the tyres are screaming, guys, I've had enough. I want to get off this car, put some new sets on me. The brakes, they're a magnificent package. They won't be suffering from those. The gearboxes, they'll be using the engines to slow the cars down. Inside the temperature, Jamie, maybe 48 up to 50 degrees inside the cabins. There's very little cooling. These guys are throwing everything at it, and you can understand why it's very easy to make a mistake. There's the game face from Kane Scott. You'll see he's grabbing his helmet, a little bit of sweat probably making the helmet move inside his head, although they've got balaclavas on. But yeah, 5 laps to go, it's anybody's, but I think Kane will just keep putting the pressure on Timmy. Let's hope Timmy can sustain it.
Angus Fogg now going to work on Matt Lockwood for the 8th position. There's John McIntyre. He is now up into the 10th position. It's a good comeback, and there would have been a lot of work going on in the pits to change that, basically, effectively, the whole rear end of that race car and rear suspension.
Well, it depends what other damage it done as well, but the good thing is they got it turned over, so whatever broke, they had enough spare parts to fix. But what they can do is that sometimes you concentrate so much on repairing the damage that you don't have the opportunities to improve the car from the information learned from race 1. But it doesn't really seem to be hurting him. He's up to 11th place, starting from the back of the field. He's Fogs there is an 8th. One spot behind Craig Beard, who's battling for the championship. So, look, that reckon race 1 hurt him, but he's certainly coming back.
So Tim Edgell's just set his fastest lap of the race on lap 7, a 1:13.654. He was 0.2 of a second quicker than Kane Scott. Scott with the fastest lap of the race at a 1:13.571. So it's just sort of seesawing backwards and forwards here. Try and work out the points connotations for you between Fogg and Beard, but certainly Angus Fogg making some big inroads. Battles further back, Martin Short and Paul Manuel for the 14th and 15th positions. On board with Martin Short, reigning New Zealand Formula 4 champion in the zone Ford.
Some interesting company in front of him. We've got Nick Ross there, Eddie Bell. This disastrous season really continues there, and of course Simon Richards. So Martin is actually about to get joined by some very illustrious company in there, those 3 hard charges.
Just looking at Craig Beard and Angus Fogg in 7th and 8th. Craig is going to get a 3-point gain, so the championship just 7 points at the moment as Short gets a big run to the outside of Nick Ross, who looked to be maybe slowing on the inside onto the front straight.
Oh, God, there is everywhere. Nick Ross has been defensive. It's kind of the meat and the sandwich here. Eddie Bell, watch out. Martin Short's there. Nick Ross will follow suit, and I dare say, run him out of room on the outside, and Paul Manuel will probably get the spot too.
So Eddie Bell getting shuffled back a few positions. Getting towards the business end of race number 2. The championship down to 7 points. Nick Ross sideways through the S's towards Splash. Manuel's on the grass trying to get up the inside of Nick Ross.
Continue this all the way to the hairpin.
Here's Eddie Bell. So Martin Short's on a bit of a charge here. Now lines up Simon Richards. Short starting from grid position 18. As Tim Edgell looks to have just taken control. If anything, he's got away from Kane Scott in the last couple of laps. The gap out to about a second as Martin Short goes to work on Simon Richards for the 11th position.
The luxury Kane Scott's got is he can actually back off a little bit, maybe 90% of what he was doing before. Let the tyres cool off a bit to mount a challenge for the last 2 laps. Tim Edgell, he doesn't have that luxury, Jamie. He's got to keep charging 110% to try to get a bit of a buffer. So, oh, here we go, run down the inside.
Craig Beard on Andy Booth. This is important for Craig Beard, and it's going to be 3 wide.
Who's on the outside? That's McLaughlin. Boothie there. Craig Beard get advantage. Now watch Angus Fogg on the inside here. No, too far back.
So Craig Beard up into the 5th position. So he's picked up a couple of spots. That's important. That's going to close the championship up even tighter. So aboard with McLaughlin chasing down Andy Booth. This is familiar signs from a couple of rounds ago where Andy gave Scotty some tips about driving and where to pass, and Scotty immediately got in front of him and didn't let Boothie by.
Apparently Boothie's quite a fast learner because he never took the opportunity up to show him around another circuit again.
On board with McLaughlin.
Boothie car looks a bit ragged there. He's starting to run wide. Maybe just the tyres gone off a little bit, but we know that car of Boothie's is quick in the first part of the race, struggles towards the last quarter, which we're in now. What can McLaughlin do? Look for a run down the inside. Probably doesn't know about this move yet because he's been here long enough. Boothie's car a little bit off the apex there.
It's Kane Scott
down the inside.
Yeah, he's come back to Timmy Edgell, who runs a little bit wide off the exit. This could be the opportunity for Kane Scott. No, Edgell shuts him down.
Yeah, he just moves over a little bit. Didn't get a touch. Come over a bit more. Still not a touch. Slams the door shut on him.
Well, Kane Scott took 0.4 of a second out of the race lead in the last lap. So Edgell just running a little bit wide down into 1 is now under attack from the 2-time former series champ.
Run down the inside here. This is just kind of a drag race. Timmy Edgell, of course, on the preferred line. Coming into turn 6, which is known as Higgins. So I don't think much of this. But where this is going to happen, Jamie, on the exit of turn 6. Watch for the crossover. I think Kane's too high up beside him. Hard right. Look for the inside running. Turn him ahead. Yeah, here we go.
Roll out of the throttle, but
Timmy comes across, defends it. Good blocking. Good racing.
Well, we've got the last lap board coming out. So Tim Edgell trying to hold off Kane Scott. This is the track that Timmy Edgell picked up his first win. As Scott's gone down the inside.
I'm wrong, he didn't.
Didn't have the momentum. I think Timmy Edgell just took a breath and ran it in a little bit deeper as the last lap board comes out. One to go for race 2 for the BNT V8s. The battle for the race leads. Wade Henshaw in 3rd, Andy Knight in 4th, Craig Baird
crossover,
5th.
yeah, those two sideways, not going to get advantage of that. See what happened in the middle of the corner. Jamie Kane Scott stopped this car dead like we see it in yachting. Hard to the other side of the track, trying to get the crossover, didn't work. Running out of options here. The next one is coming to the hairpin. Too far back to try that move at the moment.
Craig Baird with a 7-point swing. The championship is down to 3 points in favour of Angus Fogg.
Right, here we go. Kane Scott's got only 2 opportunities left. Coming into turn 6. Too far back. Rightio, now watch this. He's just going to go hard right now. Look for the crossover. Nah, Tim Edgell's too smart for that, but he would have lost a bit of drive coming on the back straight.
Just maybe he had a wheel spin there, maybe.
Yeah,
Kane's got off the exit too.
You're right, he's using first gear, which is surprising this late in the race because the rear tyres don't have much grip. Look for the run down the inside. We saw it the lap before, but nothing come of it.
He's not close enough. Tim Edgell's going to take this out.
Take your hat off, young man. You deserve this race win.
Something about Manfeild for Tim Edgell. He polled last year and won his first race. He's going to win race number 2 of the BNT V8s from Kane Scott, who tried everything in that last lap to get around the Chesters Ford. Wade Henshaw crosses the line in 3rd ahead of Andy Knight in 4th. Craig Baird 5th. Angus Fogg crosses in 7th. The championship is just 3 points. Angus Fogg over Craig Baird, but more importantly for Kane Scott, he's also eked back into that points lead. It continues to get tighter. So Tim Edgell with the victory from Kane Scott, a fantastic race. Wade Henshaw in 3rd, Andy Knight 4th. That was a good comeback after an engine change between races 1 and 2. Craig Baird 5th, Scott McLaughlin 6th, one of his best performances of the championship, with Angus Fogg 7th all the way from grid position 19.